Hello guys, welcome to weekly outlook here on pound USD. We have gold and the DXY, of course. And beginning with the pound USD here, we've seen the whole of last week price rode down to the regions of 1.26 region here, all the way from around 1.28 85 regions. And we're bouncing off a strong, I would assume, is a strong support region here. Rejected from the past here, downwards, broke above it, held as support, and right now we are holding off at that region now. So what I will be anticipating, this is the daily time frame by the way, is for price to pull back up a little bit before continuing to the downside. My anticipation is to pull back all the way to 1.28 one more time before continuing to the downside. But I'm not ruling out that if price breaks below this, we can continue to the downside. We have possible regions here of 1.2450, and the most of it, which is the psychological level of 1.25 on the dot. 1.25, yes, around that region there. Okay, now if we slide down to the 4 hours time frame, I'll be looking out for a potential rejection pattern here to see price pull back to these regions here of 1.27, or even these regions here, and possibly these regions of 1.2850, which is very attractive, and then we can pull back down to 1.26. okay, that might happen for the week. Although if we have enough volatility, it might furthermore break, retest, and then we can continue to the downside to 1.25. But otherwise, if market opens and we see a good break of this region here, it might be a fake out, but a good break and a retest, then we can continue to 1.25. okay, this is basically what I'll be anticipating here. Let's just put it on daily time frame so you can see it clearly. So my anticipation is for price to open and start pulling back up to these regions. If we get a good structure, we can go in for that counter trend trading, and then a retest from 1.28 or 1.27 depending, we can see price come back to 1.26. If there's volatility, a break of this region will continue to 1.25. That's my anticipation for pound USD. For gold, similarly, we are in a very strong push to the downside now. So if I head on to the daily time frame, is very much attractive to 2500 regions, which I could call is a good psychological level actually. So at price open, my anticipation might be a continuation to the downside. Price is creating some kind of resistance here. If I slide to the 1 hour time frame, I might want to call this a resistance here now. Okay, at 25.75. okay, back to the 4 hours time frame, having highlighted that now, I might be anticipating that if price breaks above this small resistance here, we could see price go all the way to these regions of 2600. okay, a retest of this region, if we have an extension, it might get out to these regions, but this is what I'll be anticipating, price to pull back to these regions here, and then we can continue to the downside, potentially coming back to 2,530. okay, but with this resistance placed here already last week, we might see price continue down to 2530 straight. okay, of course, a break of price below 25.21, we could see price come all the way to 24.80. okay, I'm not ruling that out. So we've covered all scenarios. If price breaks above this region, we retest, we could buy up a little bit, but we're looking for sell opportunities. We see how price would reject here, then we can continue to the downside. But if price opens and we decide to push down to the downside, then that's fine. We might not see a potential entry from here. But if price breaks below 25.30, we could see price go all the way to 24.80. okay, that's that for gold. okay, that's what we'll be anticipating here on gold. Lastly, DXY, just like we've seen price hit a very strong support on pound USD, DXY is approaching or is at a very strong resistance here at 106. Let's just call it 107. Okay, now just like I'm anticipating a pullback on pound USD to the upside, I'm anticipating a pullback to the downside here on DXY and a potential continuation. But from what we're looking at, it might not be easy to break price above 107 from this week, but if it does, then we are sure that we're continuing to the upside here. So with DXY confirmation on the 4 hours time frame, I'm potentially looking for price to start, pull back to the downside. For streamline this, we have a support region here, so I'll actually just be looking out for price to break this support. Let me see here, break this support here, and maybe we can start retesting to the downside, maybe from 105.40 before we continue to the upside. Let me pull back that on the 4 hours time frame so you get it. So more like we can also use the Fibonacci retracement tool here. Where's my Fib? No, that's not it. Sorry. Yeah, so from here to, oh my god, let me delete that for a while. So from here to this point here, a pullback is so good at 50% retracement region here and 61.8. So if we pull back to that region, we can continue to the upside. Okay, that's what I'm anticipating for DXY. Put that on the daily time frame so it will make more sense. So I'm anticipating a kind of like a pullback here. All right, pick up orders, and then we'll continue to the upside. A potential break above this region here, we can anticipate DXY to skyrocket to the upside, but this might not happen in this week. For this week, we might just see it as a pullback week, which is riding down to this region, and then from next week we'll continue to the upside. So this might be a counter trending trade week. So but it's more we'll have confluences for that. If price breaks below these regions here, then it's a good break. A retest of it, we can ride down to the downside, and if we're riding down to the downside, we're sure to be going to the upside here on pound USD. Okay, I'll see you guys for weekly recap during the weekends. Make sure you back some pips, and ciao.